So we poured some yesterday. So this was poured in yesterday. It's set up. It's not really cured yet. This block here that a lot of you have handled, that's a couple weeks old, and it's still heavy. You know, it's still drying out. Once all the water gets out, the only thing that's left in it is just an Aircrete or Portland cement. And so all in all, it's a very simple material. To make it, all you need is a bag of Portland cement, water, and a foaming agent, which I use the Drexel for my foaming. You'll see people using various dish soaps. For me, that I've run into problems with consistency, and so I do quite a bit of Aircrete. It's pretty normal for me on our house. I'll do 15 batches in a day with my wife, and so that just, there's so much going on. The last thing I have time to worry about is that the foam is staying consistent. So it's just a lot simpler to use this product for me. So the general system, we take a bag of Portland cement, mix it with 6 gallons of water, and make a slurry. It's about the consistency of pancake batter, a little thinner. And then we'll begin to fill that top drum with foam. And when we start that, I'll go ahead, I didn't do this yesterday, but I'll fill a 5-gallon bucket up with the foam so you guys can see that and see what's going on. You take your foam once it's made and gently mix that with the Portland cement slurry, and you end up with this material. So it's really pretty straightforward, pretty simple process. Once it's had a chance to mix, we'll go ahead and transfer it out of the top drum into the bottom drum, and then we'll actually put pressurized air into that bottom drum, and that will force the material that's in the bottom drum out through this hose, and we'll squirt it into the form. So we're basically ready. Let's see.
You say it's still really wet?
So what I want to do is, once we start making foam,
Okay.
I want to actually make a 5-gallon bucket of foam for them.
Yeah.
Why don't you can go ahead and do that.
What else you need?
This is the foam that goes in, and so you can see it's pretty stable, and Aircrete is all centered around how good your foam is. If your foam wants to collapse too fast, then your Aircrete collapses. The air bubbles that really do everything.
Is that straight out of the thing, or did you mix it with water?
So it is, so in that blue barrel
Yeah.
is about a quart of this
Yep.
mixed with 40 gallons of water. Okay? And then as it goes through that wand, well, here, go ahead and just turn the pump on so we just got fluid. So this is just the liquid, okay? Go ahead and give me air. And then you add compressed air to it, now you got foam. We do. So there's an air compressor over there that is over there, so we don't have to listen to it run. So, and then we've got to split the air. We use air to make the foam, make the Aircrete, but then we also use compressed air to move the Aircrete through the hose into the foam. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill up. We've got water in this. I'm going to cut the bag open. transfer the cement in while it's running. If hopefully the wind is going to be in our favor. If the wind is moving this way, get yourselves out. You don't want to be breathing it. I should be wearing a mask.
So you said your foam's the money, right? It's all reliant on your product.
It really is. It's when you see people that have struggled making Aircrete and had failures, it's always the foam.
What's the consistency you're looking for? Really fluffy, firm, whipped cream?
It's you typically judge it by weight. It should be about 90 grams, 90 to 100 grams per quart. And so we'll fill up a jug every so often. Now my wife Susan, she is the foam master, and so she can tell by looking at it come out whether or not the pressure is right, whether or not the feed rate is right. So I'm definitely a step behind her. She can look at it and know I've got to get the digital scale out and check it.
Nice.
But all right.
Thank you.
This gallon needs to go in. Just want to have you look at the level of the water. That last gallon is going. Check the level of the water.
You let that dry up, nothing like, won't do anything left.
I need you to come down here. I'm filming Bruce. Or I'll be done. Nope, I'll just be down here in about 45. Don't breathe that in.
Figured out a better way.
This is the dustiest part of the operation. And what are you doing? Just making a ton of foam?
Yes, I'm filling it. We're going to aim for about halfway up the drum. And then Bruce is going to pour the slurry in, start spinning the slurry. And then once that starts mixing in, he'll top off the foam.
Okay.
So he's got all the synthetic wood decking stuff so that nothing in here
wow.
rots out. And then he made
Oh,
up
it's
the,
Trex.
He made up all the seals on both ends.
Wow.
He just basically manufactured the entire thing because there wasn't anything that did it right.
Wow.
So he had to make a reduction for the speed because regular cement mixer or plaster mixer is too fast.
Wow.
So if you look at that, there's a 2-to-1 reduction on the main motor.
Okay.
Then that goes in an old cement mixer, which is further reduction. So when you see this thing, it's like 15 RPM.
Wow.
So it's just barely churning just enough.
Yeah.
Because if you do it too fast, you break all the bubbles.
The top drum is about halfway full now. I'll pour this in and then I'll add
So here's his slurry mix.
the right level. And this is it. It's a combination of these things. That's all there is to it.
But how much water was in there, Bruce?
6 gallons.
6 gallons with that whole bag?
6 gallons and 1 bag of
Nice.
cement.
How long did it take you to design this machine? Still in the works, or?
I guess I'm pretty happy with where it's at, but you know, there's been minor improvements, but you know, it took me a month of failure,
But it built your whole house,
but it built the whole house.
and you're pretty much done with it at this point.
Walls are done.
Walls are done. No more mixing. No more Aircrete for you.
No.
Nice. We'll get a home tour for you coming up. How much money do you think you got into the system? Just what you have here. It doesn't look like much. I don't want to offend you, but I just know how that stuff goes.
No, there's, you know, there was an old cement mixer that went into it that I paid $50 for. You know, there's probably $500 in this thing.
Okay.
If I, you know, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, it couldn't be any more than a couple hundred, so I've got to be off by at least 150%.
How much is a commercial unit, or like a unit that a company would make?
They're like $5 or $6 grand.
Okay.
Out of China, so
Nice.
it can be a while to get your hands on them, I guess.
Wow.
But they are out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they seem to be pretty slick.
Great design. I love it. No splashback, huh?
Not if you're paying attention.
So he's adding the final foam. And you're just filling this bucket pretty much?
No, I just know what it looks like
Yeah.
when I've got the right amount.
You have it down. It's one of those projects you gotta experiment with and figure out and get down, kind of like a earthen mix or an adobe or something.
Yeah.
Still slip. I'm in the danger zone. And so you guys are just prepping your second batch, so you're ready to go for the next round?
Yeah.
This is a production level?
Yeah.
That's-
So I'm just going to do 2 batches
Yep.
just to kind of, this is the workflow.
Okay. Is that 2 batches is in there right now?
3.
That's 3 batches, okay. You need a knife?
No, I'm good.
Oh. Here comes all the people with the questions
Good.
that you already answered.
Yeah, right. I've gotten beat up with all the ribs in the hose, so I go ahead and get rid of it,
I think so, yeah.
hold it out, and I'll actually just reincorporate it into the next batch. Or we'll put it out here, we'll play with it. So one thing I wanted to mention, so you can get an idea, if this was just soap suds or something like that, you know, this bucket's been sitting here just like this for the last, I don't know, what's it been, 10 or 15 minutes at least, and it's just sitting there. So it's, you know, if you tried that with a lot of different products, it would just collapse.
Is it safe?
Generally,
Genitally?
I wouldn't. I
think he said genitally, dude. You gotta put it up.
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Go for a shave?
I'm going for Santa Claus status here. Yeah, he's talking about this Drexel stuff. You know, it's consistent. It's, sometimes when you're doing these entry builds, you know, you're
If it transfers into the bottom, if you don't vibrate the whole thing, it stacks up underneath where it goes in. So you have to vibrate the whole thing, and then that rumbles it out and allows all of it to run down in.
So if you don't vibrate the material going from the top tank to the bottom tank, then it'll stack up too much, is what he pretty much just said, and it's a easier way to get it out of the top chamber into the bottom chamber, and from the bottom chamber, that's where he pumps it out from this hose here.
Push it through the hose, so it's like 30 seconds from the time that we put pressure on it.
So, yeah, having the right foaming engine is definitely, it's a
What do
make it
you
or break.
see on your pressure gauge?
I don't have my glasses, but I think we're between 20 and 30.
Starting to get a little
Okay.
cooler here.
Vacuum hose?
Pool hose.
Pool hose.
Yeah, so
He's giving away all the tricks, folks. Sorry. I just
You good on that pressure?
yeah, we're good. It's a little high, but it's doable. I wouldn't worry about it. Let's just run with it.
You're not concerned with a cold joint you're filling over another poured one?
Well, it's not ideal. But I'm counting on the fabric to make up for that. So I'll stop you here in a minute and we'll do a 3, 2, 1. Do the big pressure relief valve first.
Is there
3, 2, 1.
is there a height that you found that'll stop pumping? Like you can get this 10 feet?
No, I've pumped 15 feet with no issue. Okay, so
Good question. Nice question.
I don't know for sure, and so I've always pumped at 20 pounds. Yeah. Right now we're pumping at about 25, so it makes me a little nervous. This stuff is touchy. Yeah. So by pre-wetting the fabric, the Aircrete sticks to it a little better. It doesn't really go.
And that's just to help the release from the mold?
It helps release from the mold and also gives some strength
Does it?
to the block.
Okay.
Leo, you getting this?
Exactly. So on my house, I've got a slip form. So I pour, the form is 2 feet tall. And so we pour about a foot of batch. The valve, something's open.
Because yeah, when you put pressure on that, you're creating indentation.
Not set press on. Have you lifted that one?
You
Yeah,
got pressure in the water.
but you can
So
push
that's-
into it. Huh?
You can push that one too?
It's weird that I'm hearing it. Yeah, we're running. We're fine.
A little bit.
I think
a
we're
little
just okay. We're sorry.
Get some action.
I didn't blow off fast enough, I'm sorry.
Nice.
Come here, fearless leader.
You saw that? I hope I didn't look like a...
You were very diplomatic.
Was I?
I'm gonna cut you. 3, 2, 1.
That was right when I heard the bubbles start.
Okay, so I'll just call this beauty.
Hey, you guys, Bruce put a lot of time and energy into bringing this stuff down here. I think he deserves a round of applause. And he built this whole machine. I don't know if he said that enough, but Bruce designed this. He built this. He's a very smart man. He's gonna have a beautiful house soon, right?
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Where?
He's modest.